killed. So, whilst the Renaissance did many, many good things by dragging us out of the Dark Ages, it also led to the Protestant Church being formed, but then also the war between the two religions as well. So it wasn't just in Germany where Martin Luther started off, it spread like wildfire across the entire continent. You might remember when we were in Paris, I talked to you about the Huguenots up there, which were the Protestants. I talked to you about the St. Bartholomew's Day massacre, when they tried to allegedly bring the two religions together for that big royal wedding down at Notre Dame Cathedral. It also then had a big impact here in Italy, even though it's the home of the Catholic Church. When the Protestant religion took hold in here as well, it was one of the things that started to weaken the country once again. Now, the Medicis weren't always popular. There are a lot of people who actually wanted a counter-Renaissance back to the good old-fashioned values of the medieval days, right, where the church was the most important thing. So to cash in on this movement, into town rode a Dominican monk. His name was Savonarola, and he was preaching that people were going to be burning in hell for leading such outlandish lives, for believing that material possessions were far more important than God was to them. So he used to preside over burnings down in the main square of Florence, which is called Piazza della Signoria, the Square of the Ladies, where people were encouraged to come on down and throw onto the fire books, artwork. Ladies were encouraged to bring down clothing, jewellery, to prove that God was more important to them than any material possession. Savonarola started to gain popularity. People started to turn towards him, but of course there was always opposition as well. So to try and convince the people that he was ruling in the place of Jesus Christ, this is what he wanted them to believe. He was going to preside over one more massive burning, and he was going to throw himself on the fire, and there was going to be another second coming. This is what he was telling people, and he never actually thought that they would make him go through with it. But the people of Florence, especially his opposition, got very, very excited. So they created the biggest bonfire Florence had ever seen. And Savonarola got back on his donkey and rode out of town as quickly as he could. They chased after him on their donkeys. They got him and they brought him back and they threw him on the fire. There was a snap, there was a crackle, there was a pop, but there was no second coming for old Savonarola. Okay, here we are. Oh, right, we're a little bit early, ladies and gentlemen, and that's good. This means we're going to have more time. What I'd like you to do